the Redmi 15c is here. And as usual, you may not need to upgrade because once again, the difference is very minimal. Now, last year, the Redmi 14c did very well. For an entry-level phone, it had all the basics: good build quality, solid battery life, and a very reliable processor. So I imagine the conversation in Xiaomi's boardroom when they were deciding the Redmi 15c would have gone something like,
what are your suggestions for Redmi 15C? Let's just increase the battery to 6,000 milliamp hours, and let's give them true 33-watt charging this time around.
Of course, change the camera design, which is something we get to do every year.
And just like that, we have the new Redmi 15C. So pretty much everything else apart from these things I just mentioned are the same. We're going to talk more about the battery and the charging and all of that much later. Now, for build quality, it didn't change. We still have glass back, a plastic frame, but now you do get an IP64 rating for water and dust resistance. And then also, yeah, the front glass is now protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Now, when you look at the back of this phone, you can tell that so much thought went into the glass design at the back. So I think it's definitely worth applauding. But at the front, the bezel still remains really chunky, and that U-shaped notch for the front-facing camera is still there. Honestly, I don't think it's going to go anytime soon. For color options, I have the moonlight blue variant with me here. Now, while there may be other colors for you to choose from, I think this is the best looking among all of them. The fingerprint scanner is side-mounted and it works just as expected. The headphone jack has been moved to the bottom of the phone from the top. And yeah, the mono speakers, I think they sound really loud and decent for its price. The SIM card tray allows for storage expansion up to 2 TB, but the RAM type that it comes with is eMMC 5.1, which is 2025, so people may feel that, yeah, it is actually getting outdated. Currently, the market price for the Redmi 15C it's around 145,000 naira, and the unboxing experience really solid. You get all of the accessories you need in the box, so you don't have to spend anything extra to buy anything else. Now let's talk about this display. It is still IPS LCD display with a 720 pixel resolution and outdoor brightness that peaks at about 700 nits, which are the same exact specs we had with the Redmi 14C. Now, in my opinion, it is still fair. I mean, it is the same with what most other competition is offering when it comes to display. And yeah, it is still very good when it comes to watching YouTube videos or scrolling through social media. Now, I did try to watch YouTube videos with it. It could go up to 4K, but trust me, at that quality, the videos was just jerking, making it almost impossible to watch. The refresh rate has gone to 120 Hz, which is good, but once again, the reality is that it's only limited to the settings app and a few other places. Now let's talk about what is perhaps the biggest upgrade with the Redmi 15C, and that is battery and charging. This time, Xiaomi decided to give us 6,000 mAh battery compared to the 5,160 that we had with the Redmi 14C last year. So in real life usage, that translates to noticeably longer screen on time, especially for people who like to stream for long hours or game a lot. Now for charging, we finally get true 33 watts fast charging. Now, I'm saying that because last year with the Redmi 14C, even though it supports just 18 watts charging, they actually shipped it with a 33 watts charger in the box. But this time around, we are getting the real 33 watts charging speed along with the charger. So yeah, that is nice. Now let's talk about performance, where once again, nothing has changed. It is still the same Helio G81 Ultra chipset from last year, paired with either 4 or 6 gigs of RAM. Now, for casual users, that is very okay, but in 2025, I think it is becoming outdated. Mostly when you discover that the competitors like Samsung that just released the A07 have upgraded to the Helio G91. Also, once again, as expected, it runs on Android 15 with HyperOS version 2. So the experience is pretty much the same if you have your Redmi 14C. Personalization options are still very good. You can tweak your lock screens, your icons, and wallpapers to your taste. Now, one useful addition is the battery information section, which now shows you your charging cycles, the battery health, and even a screencast feature, all of which are really good. Of course, there are still plenty of bloatware applications in this phone. It comes with a whole lot. Thankfully, you can uninstall them to free up space in your phone and just give you a more cleaner UI. But then there is still the ads, which I really wish it would stop, because sometimes it can get really annoying. Now, moving on to the cameras, the Redmi 15C comes with a 50 megapixel main camera along with an 8 megapixel front-facing camera. Now, on paper, the front camera has been downgraded from the 30 megapixel we had last year, so don't expect any upgrade when it comes to selfie quality. If for anything, it might be slightly less sharper depending on lighting conditions, but they still comes out really well, like what you're looking at right now. The rear camera still does a very decent job when it comes to casual shots, but in good and proper lighting. And like every other budget phone, when it comes to low lighting conditions, the performance is average at best. For videos, you can shoot at 1080p 30 frames per second top highest, and that's all that you can go for. And there is nothing like stability. As you can see, if videos comes in really shaky, mostly when you're shooting on the go. So should you buy the Redmi 15C? I would say yes, it is definitely still a good phone to get in 2025. The important upgrade that it comes with, the bigger battery and the faster charging, are definitely practical for everyday use for the target audience of this phone. And of course, this new design is attractive and also subjective. So if you're coming from the Redmi 14C, there may not be strong reason for you to want to upgrade to the 15C. But if you are getting it fresh, then the Redmi 15C is still a very solid entry-level option for you at the price that is coming. I get to catch you in my next video.